History of the atoms. The history of the atoms go way, way back. It all started all the way from 450 BC. A man named, this guy, Democritus, introduced the concept of atoms. He thought, if I chop something up into two pieces and keep on chopping it into smaller and smaller pieces, there will reach a point where I can no longer chop it into two pieces. Such, the term atom was invented. The atom was derived from the word atomos, which meant indivisible. However, a more famous and influential Greek philosopher at the time, Aristotle, debunked Democritus' ideas of the existence of atoms, and as such, the masses would believe Aristotle's ideas more. So Democritus' idea of the existence of atoms was forgotten for a while, and I mean a long, long while. Jumping way, 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 way after Democritus introduced the idea of atoms comes this guy, John Dalton. John Dalton revived the idea of Democritus' theory of the existence of atoms. He stated how all substances are composed of atoms of a particular element, say how carbon dioxide is composed of carbon and oxygen atoms. Nearly a century later, J. J. Thomson introduced the idea of electrons. Thomson introduced the plum pudding model of an atom. The plum pudding shows that atoms are composed of positively charged matter, while being ridden all over with negatively charged particles, aka the electrons. But around the 1910s, Ernest Rutherford, one of Thomson's students, wasn't quite convinced by Thomson's model of the atom. So, through his now famous gold foil experiment, Rutherford introduced the nucleus. Rutherford's model states that atoms, instead of being packed together, was heaps of empty space, surrounded with electrons, while the positively charged nucleus right at the center. A couple years later, another of Thomson's students, Niels Bohr, expanded on Rutherford's atomic model. He stated that electrons would orbit around the nucleus at fixed distances and fixed rate. But there were also some complications. Instead of the electrons orbiting the nucleus at a discrete rate, it was said to move in waves, leading to this atomic model that you all would be more familiar with today. But with all that, nearly a decade later, 1927, Weizen-Heisenberg, a German physicist, introduced the uncertainty principle. The uncertainty principle states that we cannot know both the position or speed of a particle, well, the photons and electrons of an atom, with perfect accuracy. Building upon this, another physicist named Erwin Schrödinger presented his cloud atomic model. The cloud atomic model states that an electron does not travel in an exact orbit. We can predict where it will be. However, we cannot say for certain where the said electron is, but only where it will be, thus coming up with the atomic model that most physicists use today. That about sums up the long history of the atoms. Did you like the video? If yes, comment down below of what you want to see next. Subscribe, and till then, see you next time.